What's up, yo? Develop a foundation before playing the game. Develop a foundation. And really, it's deeper than just the game of man gets women, but really the game of life. You got to have a foundation for everything. Everything. Now, as far, I know people come here, a lot of dudes come here for dating advice and, all of that. But I'm gonna kind of paraphrase something the master teacher BGS said. He said if he were to be a dating coach, he'd focus on giving people drills because he was a basketball coach. So he said before they would go out on the basketball court, they work on their footwork, their dribbling, like the basics. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm noticing a lot of people, they'll follow and listen to different dating coaches and think they can go out there and just do something, but they don't get their basics together. You know, like one of the reasons I talk about the body game because it's a basic attractor. Because remember, a lot of people like quoting that women make a decision in the first few seconds whether or not they're going to date a guy. All right, well, if you're going to do it like that, and she going to make that decision, she don't have time. She going to make that decision from a distance. In fact, cousin T-Tall did video yesterday called Can I Fuck This? And it's basically what a woman is evaluating about a man like 50 yards away. Check that out. Now, y'all notice I always I reference cousin T-Tall a lot because no disrespect to the other dating coaches, but his game and my game are very extremely similar. And of course, he was coming from that male exotic dancer perspective, but let's just say Rom's is very close. I might have got into a different profession if I didn't have political aspirations, and if I didn't have political aspirations, because I said I ain't want something to bite me in the ass. But anyway, ours are very similar. So like he'll do something else, like, oh yeah, that's similar. Anyway. So a woman's evaluating from a distance. So if anybody wants to really get out there, you got to develop the basics. One, I talk about the body game. Now, the body game is more than just having muscles, because if you think about it, most of the time, unless it's summertime in the hood, you ain't walking down stripped down like with just a shirt on or something. Maybe on the beach or something, but most of the time you're going to be covered up. But with the right frame, or the right body frame and right posture, even the clothes you wear will look a certain way on you. Let me see something. Even your clothes will look a certain way. And but that's a basis. That's one of the first things a woman's going to look at on you. She's just going to look at your overall thing. Now, some dudes think they just look at the face. Yeah, they look at the face, but they'll do a total body scan. So it's like, if you want to get into it, first thing, you got to get your overall physical appearance, because it's not just, even for those who think it's just the face, if you got a good face, but you're looking like a bum and your clothes are jacked up, most women are still not going to bother with you. Most ain't, even now, no matter how handsome. And even with your face, they still trying to read it, say, does he look like a choir boy, or he look like a roughneck, or whatever they need. They're going to evaluate that. But you yourself can't worry about that. You just want to present your best if you out here actively trying to get a woman, because that's the thing. She's going to make that decision, whether you approach her or whether you wait for choosing signals. So that's a basic. Now, one thing I tell a lot of guys, they'll say, well, they're nervous about talking with women. So I give them a drill. I say every day, say hi to 3 women. Just hi. Now, I don't go beyond that, because what'll happen is, once a man gets to a point he can comfortably say hi to 3 different women, he's going to find some of those women going to start a conversation. Because then that's the next step. That's the next step. And it's important. It's kind of like, for those who remember the old Karate Kid, or for those who might be watching the new Cobra Kai thing, wax on, wax off. And basically what you're doing is a drill. You doing a drill. So you're starting with your body, the foundation, the visual thing. Then you're doing a drill in order to connect to the woman. Because that's really, like, the connection part is big, because that's where a lot of dudes have problems. It was really just talking to a woman. Like, you get some dudes out here, you know what, they might go in the gym and they do all this other stuff, but then the woman's sitting there waiting for you to approach. Because, like I said, most women ain't going to approach unless your body is just pow, or just exactly what she like. And I've seen that happen, but let's be real, man. The majority of dudes out here, the 99% of dudes, they ain't happening for them. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Even if a woman find you attractive, most women are not going to be that aggressive. And usually when you get an aggressive woman, like, who's that aggressive, usually there's some other stuff going on that you might not want to deal with. So, what am I on time? I can't see up close with these glasses. Anyway, but you want to work on that foundation. See, I got a lot of guys, they want to do all this stuff, and they listen to all the stuff that different coaches will say, and go out or they keep asking questions, can't figure it out. I was like, you have a good foundation. In fact, I've known some players, some dudes really good with women. They would say, shoot, you even got to have a foundation to ask for the pussy. You can't just ask for it. I know that goes counter to what different people would say, but you always got to think in terms of, what am I bringing out? Or let me use some other analogies. I mean, I've already used the basketball one. You got to have basic skills you're going to get out on that basketball court. Basic skills. If you want to practice a profession, be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, shoot, those schools you go to, law school, medical school, they give you the foundations of stuff so that you can do it. And then, in order to practice, they put you through a test. Shoot, in indigenous, what I consider civilized cultures, they had a rites of passage. You weren't considered a man until you passed certain tests. You had a foundation for some things. Because the key to the foundation is you can do it all the time. Like going back to basketball. Any Division I basketball player can make a layup. Any or a high school player can make a layup. But that's a foundational thing. Any of them can dribble decent enough to maybe bring a ball across a timeline. Even a big man. Now, then, when you get into like Showtime dunks or 3-point shots or mid-range shots, then, you got to work a bit harder. But then that's like with any profession to really get specialized. But regardless, if you on that field or something, or that ball court, you got basics. If you're playing baseball, you got to be able to catch a ball. But see, a lot of cats doing some stuff and they don't have a foundation down, but then they want to have results. You got guys who won't step foot in the gym or try to upgrade like their whole presentation, but they want to approach different women and then get mad when the women ain't feeling them. I was like, dude, you didn't have the basic attraction piece. Now, the three things you're going to need, you're going to need the attraction and then the closing. You're going to need the attraction and the talk. I've got a video coming up probably next week. I'm talking about closing the deal, brief one. But you got to have all of that stuff. What am I on time? Yeah. I always like to have it a certain length of time. But yeah, y'all got to work on that foundation, man. Shit. Work on that foundation. It's like a woman, because like I said, the woman, shoot, she checking you out. She's really checking you out before you see her. You think you saw her. She saw you and already decided what she's going to do in a few seconds. Now, people will say that's crazy, he's a good guy. And I've told women to try to get to know a guy if he approaches and he's polite. But, sometimes you can't get into like a should or what you want to happen. You got to get into what is. She's making an appraisal. If you selling a house, or it might be a very warm house, Might not have any bugs, but it's probably not going to sell if it's, somebody didn't clean up in there. Like structurally, it could be a great house, but nobody cleaned up in there. And it was like, you ain't going to be like, you see it and it's totally jacked up. You ain't going to want to mess with it. And that's the same thing with a human being. Like, I've seen people with zero bad presentation, looking dirty, dusty, and whatever, trying to holler at a woman. I say that in Nice Guys and Players. I say, shit, clean yourself. Wash your ass. Have that foundation. Then once the foundation is there, then it makes things a little bit easier, because then you got a hook. Well, not the hook, you got the bait. And then you work on the hook. Get used to talking to women on a casual basis. And it's important. Now, this is Rom's way. This is Rom's way. I was like, you want to get used to the point that you're talking to a woman. You could say at least hi to a woman on such a consistent basis without any fear or any nervous feelings. And you're doing that to like short circuit that amygdala that got that whole fear thing. Because then once you get over that, you'll find that's a lot of the game. A lot of guys lose out on a woman, an attractive woman might be interested if they did, simply open their mouth and said hi without any fear, without any nervousness. But you got to practice that. That's why I tell dudes, just say hi. Just say hi, not anything else. And then maybe after a couple months, it'll get to the point you'll have conversations with the woman just chilling. Because you'll give off a comfortable aura. So anyway, I don't need y'all seeing where I'm going, so I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.